Yes, you can ask your question.
Yeah, so most of the company is asking for the enterprise designing. So my hope, a lot of expectations from these classes, because we need to crack the interview as well. And in the designing perspectives, we are looking for this session from the scratch. So you can just discuss each and every parts of the designing of this SD-WAN from the scratch. Means if someone is saying that if you work in the design engineer and you want to go to ask the customer, so what is your first question to ask the customer for set up this SD-WAN, and also the migration as well, because a lot of companies also asking the legacy devices. Means suppose that if any existing router or the switches is installed at the customer premises, and now the site is going to migrate into the SD-WAN. So what is your first steps to do the migration from the legacy network to the this
Okay.
SD-WAN network?
Seems you have to enroll for advanced classes.
Uh, so Ratnesh,
But anyways, I'll cover all
actually,
these
Yeah.
things.
so Ratnesh, I was going to ask the same thing actually. Like you can build like that. Like you have a traditional network, and how we can build this SDN solution from the scratch, and then migrate our existing data center from legacy to SDN. Because
Yeah,
most of the project will get it like this.
no problem. I'll cover this.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we have different type of labs. One of the lab is the migration lab. We'll see that. But you can see that now SD-WAN, different components are there. So you want to migrate your traditional WAN to SD-WAN solution. Then you want to integrate your SD-WAN to cloud. You want to integrate your SD-WAN to gateways like GScaler or any other gateway. So there are so many things, but we'll start slowly. First of all, we'll understand the basics of SD-WAN, why SD-WAN, what is SDN, etc., etc. So I'm going to start everything from scratch, means from basic. So you will understand, and we have two classes, means we have classes on Saturday and Sunday, weekends classes. That means you have still 4 or 5 days that you can go watch the recording. You can do the revision, you can do the repetition, so things and concepts will set. Okay. All right. Before I start, I just wanted to ask you one question. What is SDN? Software Defined Network. This is
Yeah, the
day one. Yep,
yeah,
you can answer.
yeah. So SDN is stand for the software defined networking, and in which we are having the means if you are going to compare with the legacy router, then there is the control plane, data plane, and the management plane is there. But if you are talking about the SDN network, in which the decouple the control plane, means we are installing this control plane virtually in somewhere in the cloud or on premises, and from there we are able to control the remote devices, that is the VS devices. So whatever the monitoring perspectives and whatever the configuration, everything we are doing from the controller, and from the controller we are pushing the all informations towards the VS.
Yep, 100% right. Amit, what is SDN?
Yes, I read something about SDN. That's as sir told, it is the same. Actually, earlier what the router was having control data plane, control plane, and management plane. All these three things in a same inside the router. But in SDN, what they have done, they have separated control plane to somewhere else, and from there they are controlling the routers.
Okay,
Like that things are.
great. Jitender, what is your version?
Sir, I don't know what is the SDN, sir. Just simply software-defined networks. I understand, sir.
Okay. Sam?
Yes, I agree with my colleagues who have already explained
Yep.
the SDN. I think that's the same definition I would have also given. Thank you.
Thank you. Vishjit, you want to add anything, or you are
Yeah,
ready?
just they told everything like it's a centralized management solution. Like you can say the automation technology where the control plane holds the like exists in the controller. From the controller, you can configure the end devices where the data plane exists. Like it's a centralized management thing, automation.
Okay, great. Today I gave an interview. So first question they asked me about SDN. What is SDN? Although I got rejected, but I'll give my answer to you. So they asked me, what is SDN? I responded, you want to know the bookie's answer or my answer? So the interviewer they told me that you can give your answer. Okay. I told SDN is nothing but mindset. Initially it was there. It's not new technology. It was there in WLCs, WLCs and the access point, wireless LAN controllers. I write here WLC and then APs, and they have some sort of cap web tunnel, and WLCs they are sending instruction to the APs, etc. Means WLC they are the brain, and then you have the data plane where actual data is moving, right? So my answer was this, that SDN is a solution, no problem, but it's not a new solution. It was there from years. Nowadays it is deployed inside enterprise network or any network. The goal of SDN, then I told that, okay, it's a mindset, but it's an incomplete solution. SDN itself is not complete. Then they asked me that why it is not complete. I told, see, SDN will get completed when it will become Google Cloud type of interface, or AWS type of interface, or Azure type of interface. Maybe you have seen those interfaces, GCP, AWS, Azure. If you go to their interfaces, you'll find everything, right? You'll find networking, you'll find compute, you'll find data store, you'll find everything is there, means all the services are there basically. So all these cloud interfaces, they have services. GCP, they have more than 200, AWS more than 200, means more 300, 400, I don't know. But with SDN that you told that we have centralized management. If you go one step beyond, you can think that not only you have the centralized management, but you have something that from where you can manage everything, like cloud interfaces are doing. By default, there are everything over those interfaces, and then from those interfaces or from those services, customer like me and you, they can take the resources, whatever we want, they will bill on that. So at the moment, if you go and check the vManage dashboard or any dashboard, you will not see billing information. You will not see other services information. Why? Because still it is incomplete. Day by day, Cisco or other vendors, they are adding more and more and more features. So I started working on Cisco SD-WAN vManage controller when it was Viptela 14.x. Now something 20.x is going on. If you see 14.x dashboard and 20.x dashboard, you'll find that there are so many differences. There are so many integrations. Now 20.x, they are supporting collaboration, like they are supporting voice. 20.x, they are supporting multi-cloud like AWS, GCP. 20.x, they're having better management solution, etc. There are so many features. They are keep coming inside these solution. And that's the goal of SDN as well. Software defined network means in future you can develop something and then you can integrate with the management plane, right? So this was the answer. Do not give this answer. If anyone asks you in the interview, just tell them that this is decoupling of control and data plane. You have centralized management, you have centralized intelligence. In that case, a data plane will work as a data plane device, means it will carry the data forward here and there. All the policies, all the important decision you have to take from the control plane, or some orchestrator, you'll find that you have collapsed control and management plane. So control plane plus management plane in the same controller. So it's like that. Okay. Any question in this?
No, no.
Thank you. So what to study? You want to study SD-WAN or you want to study AWS cloud or GCP cloud?
Yeah, please guide me. Which one is better and which one is demanding in market nowadays?
Cloud is always better than any solution.
Yeah.
GCP
Which one?
cloud is always 10 times, 20 times, 30 times better than any of the networking solution. If you opt your cloud path, your growth will be exponential. If you are doing what we are doing, like the solution related to networking, in networking, the different things are there: routing, switching, security, collaboration, wireless, so many things. The good thing about this that learn all the chunks, put inside one package, and you'll find everything in cloud. Added advantage you have with cloud is that they have solid databases, they have solid compute, and those models actually they are matured enough nowadays. I'll not go here because our main focus is to learn SD-WAN, but as a career, if you want good salary package hike, please learn any of the cloud solution. Not only learn, become expert in that. If you can do it, it's well and good.
So which one is good for us to go?
At the moment, Google Cloud is very good. Even Sam can tell something about this. Sam, what is the market there in USA for Google Cloud?
Uh, for Google Cloud, I haven't come across a lot of that, but at the Amazon, AWS is for me is the number one here now.
In US, okay,
Yes.
Yeah,
that's great.
in India, I'm also seeing the most of the companies, means in our companies also they are using the AWS cloud for the VeloCloud as well as this Azure as well. So maybe nowadays or maybe in futures, the GCP will come in picture. So one question I have, Ratnesh, here.
Mhm.
So actually, just wanted to know, means cloud, means what is cloud? Means if everything is going virtually, means it is the one server, right? It is the big database server, and in which we are creating the virtual machine, right?
Yep,
That is work as a cloud.
yep,
Okay.
you're right. Cloud itself is a data center,
Mhm.
and then Google or maybe Microsoft or maybe Amazon. So they have their big data centers located everywhere. And from that particular data center, they have created some sort of console. That console, one small portion of that console, as a consumer, we are using it like yes, like a pay and use type of service. So they have, obviously in data center you have compute. So if you see the existing Cisco data center, you'll find that UCS is there as a compute, blade servers are there as a compute. So compute is there, networking is there, security is there. As a user, if I want, for example, if I want 200 servers and I don't want on-prem networking, on-prem hardware, etc., what I can do, I can subscribe in cloud. I can pay a small amount of money to the cloud. I can run my 100 servers, and then my deployment team, suppose I'm a small software company, my deployment team, they will start working on that. So I don't have to pay anything to build the data center on-prem, but that will be work over the cloud. That's the biggest advantage we have. Now, this is not just the cloud thing. This is not the full definition of cloud, what I told you, but there are so many different services that cloud is offering apart from that, apart from running the VMs, instances and all. So it's like full package. It's a big thing. If someone will become cloud architect, it's a big achievement, because not only maybe he will learn less than you and me, less than 1 CCI, less than 2 CCI. But the point being here that they will learn more services. They will learn different things. That's the differentiator here. How much you are learning is nowadays is not important, but how many things you are learning is important. How many different things you are learning is important. So for example, David, he told that I'm working on DC. Now next project is SD-WAN. Maybe next project he will get in LAN. So you can see the knowledge is diversified. It's like a data center, then a WAN, then LAN, and again they have to learn about automation for DC, and then the WAN, and then the LAN, etc. So that's the thing, that we have to move. The problem as a working professional, you'll find that you will not get time for a study. Then how you can increase your knowledge? The safest side is this, that take one particular technology and become expert in that.
But SD-WAN have a lot of technology inside that. Means it is nothing but only the routing and switching is also there. Means nowadays, if you are someone is saying that MPLS is not in picture, but it is wrong, because it is carry the MPLS as well as internet as well as LTE as well. So all the transport is there.
Yeah.
So it is not 100% negligible that MPLS is not in picture. And in MPLS, if we're talking someone like BGP, OSPF, REAP, IGRP, everything is there.
Yeah,
There,
you're
yeah.
right. So again, I told you earlier that it's nothing but it's a new type of cloud solution. You can think as it's an on-prem cloud. Means you have one dashboard, and from that dashboard you are managing different network services. These network services are obviously less than 200, maybe 15, 20, 30, and you will find that one day it will reach to maybe 50, 60, 70 services. But it's like many type of cloud you have. Why many type of cloud console? Because anyways you are running your vManage over cloud, right? Over AWS, or maybe Google Cloud or Azure Cloud. All right. I'm going to move now. So we are discussing about SDN solution. What type of SDN solution Cisco has? You know about that?
Yeah, there is few types. I know it. That is the SDA, that is the software defined access, that is used for the LAN side, and the SD-WAN, that is for the WAN side, and that is for the this mm, data center. There is the DC-ACI,
You're right.
and
So different
Meraki
type,
is also a SD-WAN solution, that is for the wireless, right?
yeah, wired and wireless both. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that in Cisco, Cisco has a broad picture about this SDA or SDN solution, you can say. So here you have something called DNA or DNAC, DNA Center, Digital Network Architecture Center. In WAN, you'll find Viptela solution. Now it's a Cisco SD-WAN solution, where you have different type of controllers. I'll come to that. And in data center, you'll find ACI. Now, since all these three are SDN solution, obviously they have some common link in between, right? So what are the common links we have in between these three solutions?
Controller based, right?
Yeah, controller based. Yeah. Okay. If you know about DNA, what controllers we have in DNA?
Hectic, right?
Okay, I'll make this little bit easy. So we know that SDN is what? Decoupling of data and control plane, right? And management plane. So obviously here you have something called control plane. Here you have something called management plane. You may have data plane. You may have policy plane, PP. Okay. So in DNA, what is the control plane? Okay, it's not
Which
DNA
one? Which
class.
one?
In LAN, in Cisco DNAC, what is the
Uh-huh.
control plane? It's a
DNAG,
controller.
DNAG, right?
Yeah. So actually they have CP routers, control plane routers. They are running some sort of protocol called Lisp. And again, this is longer story about how Lisp is working, how they are dividing the routing table and the forwarding table, etc. I'll not go in that detail, but yeah, there are control plane, they are the routers in DNA. What is the management plane? Management plane is DNAC software itself. Okay. What is the data plane? Edge routers you'll find as work as a data plane, or maybe access points or maybe some other endpoints. They'll work as a data plane devices. What's the policy plane in DNA? Cisco ICE. Cisco ICE can work as a policy plane. ICE is nothing but identity services, where you can create the policy and you can push to different devices, or you can do some sort of integration. Now, our main agenda is what? WAN, SD-WAN. So let's focus on SD-WAN control plane. What is control plane? If you don't know, it's okay. I'm going to cover all these things. What is control plane? Sanjay?
Control
right?
plane.
Yep.
Yeah, control plane is basically that is carry the routing information and forwarding towards the edge devices. So here the control plane is working like a route reflector, means whatever the routing information is coming from the one edge devices and redistributed over the OMP protocols.
Yeah.
It is coming to the vManage dashboard, and vManage is instruct to the control plane, and control plane is forwarding that
I'll
routing
just
table.
correct you. The control plane is VS Smart. Viptela Smart.
Correct.
Right? Okay. What is data plane?
Data plane here is the VS
Yes.
devices or CS devices.
VH or CS, yeah, right.
CH, yeah.
Management plane?
Yeah, that is the centralized dashboard from where we can do the monitoring and we do the configuration.
We manage, right?
Yes.
Policy plane?
It is a part of the vManage where we can do
Smart.
the policy. Yeah,
VS Smart is a policy plane, right? Great. I'm going to cover all these components and their detail in upcoming slide section, so don't worry. Coming to ACI, the control plane. Policy plane. ACI is a data center solution. It's not completely SDN. It's like customized SDN solution where you'll find that data plane also have the intelligence. Mostly you'll find that in ACI you have Nexus type of switches or Nexus switches. They're working as a leaf and a spine. So spine is the brain, and then you have leaf, spine nexus and leaf nexus. So control plane, maybe your spine, data plane, maybe your leaf. In ACI, again, it's a customized SDN solution. Leaves also have some sort of control. Your management is nothing but your epic controller, and the policy plane. You can create your policy to the epic. It will go push these policies to the leaf and a spine. Okay, but you can go and create the policies from epic controller. Now, this is overall umbrella, you can say, for Cisco portfolio related to Cisco SDN solution. Cisco is not stopping here, because any company, any networking company, or any company, any innovative company, they can't stop. Like us also, we can't just stop learning new things. So they can't just stop innovating new things. At the moment, still you will find that the SDN solution that we have from any of the vendor, not only Cisco, but it's true for any of the vendors, still we are lagging at least 5-6 years back. Still we don't have machine learning or artificial intelligence, or different type of things that we have studied in engineering college applied inside the networking. Only one vendor who is investing more and more in machine learning on AI, I think Google is going to become leader in coming, I think, 5 to 6 years in the networking domain as well, in the cloud domain as well, because they have broader vision. They are putting everything, they are putting AI and machine learning inside all the solution that they are providing. Likewise, you will see that if you work on DNA also has done some integration with AI, artificial intelligence, in their DNA wireless solution. So far, I haven't seen AI inside Viptela and ACI. ACI, Cisco has done some improvement. They have recently launched something called Nexus dashboard. Inside that, you can do some sort of multi orchestration. You can do some sort of compliance report, etc., etc. Again, this is beyond our scope, but we should check the present and we should think about future as well. What is going to be in the future technology? Okay.
So here the control plane, what is this? It is a spine or something else?
Control plane is a spine only, because they have to take the decision. But in ACI, even the leaf also have the intelligence. ACI is not purely SDN solution. Pure SDN solution for data center is NSX.
Okay. And here in ACI, data plane is that is a Nexus devices.
Nexus devices, a leaf and a spine, yeah. All are Nexus.
Okay.
Great. So I'll go and open the slide. Meanwhile, if you guys have any question, you can ask. We are going to learn about Cisco SD-WAN, and there is one agenda that I'm going to follow. The syllabus we have. We have started with day 1. We have some basic concepts related to Viptela, related to SD-WAN. We have some sort of tool related to a dashboard. We manage dashboard as well. I'm going to tell you that how you can do the basic lab. So idea is this, that I will provide you the lab for few classes. Once I will show you that how you can build your lab. You try build the lab. The only problem with this lab that we are going to build, that we don't have license. So Cisco, once they acquire the Viptela company, they put some licenses in that. So after 17.x, you need some sort of licenses. Don't worry, I'll provide you full end-to-end lab. So whatever new things you want to do, you can do in that lab. And the old type of thing, old type like 60-70% of things you can do in your home lab as well. It will support all the features.
License you'll share, right?
Yeah, license lab I will share. I will share you the different type of labs that we have. But once you create your home lab, that will also work fine. There's no problem. You can work in your home lab as well. All the control plane policies, everything you will do there. Okay. What Cisco has done, that they have added some new features like multi-cloud support and some gateway configuration, some new features, because Cisco, they have converted their C edge as a edge device. Initially, you know that we have only Viptela devices who are doing the SD-WAN. So once they have this ISR router integrated as a C edge devices, then they put licenses. So those things you will not able to do in your home lab because some license restrictions are there. And don't ask me about the licensing cost and all. So I will provide you the lab, and you will do whatever you want to do. How long you want the lab, I'll provide you the lab. So don't worry about that. Okay. All right. So we are going to do a basic study about SD-WAN, and then I will show you the lab. There are different labs. Just start learning with the small labs. Later on, we are going to add some complexity in that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Why we need SD-WAN? Because there are challenges to use multiple carriers. There are challenges to provide centralized policies, centralized security. The bandwidth was underutilized. If you are using SD-WAN, if you are using active link, then you can use the bandwidth properly. So there are so many points, means there are so many restrictions with the existing WAN solution. So that's why we need some sort of SD-WAN solution. Now, once you are doing SD-WAN solution, then again, you are increasing the complexity. As a network engineer, obviously, we know that how WAN works. We know that OSPF, BGP, etc. Now, once we have the new solution, you have to learn the new terminology, new things, you know. So complexity is there for network engineers, but it is better for the business. As businesses, they can save their bandwidth. Businesses, they can add different type of application. Businesses, they have much more visibility inside the applications. Businesses, they can scale because we have different type of solution like plug and play, or maybe ZTP, zero touch provisioning, etc. Businesses, they can easily go and integrate with the cloud. Not only that SD-WAN solution can integrate with cloud, but you have the visibility as well over the cloud hosted or cloud installed devices. Okay. One thing is there that obviously you have to learn this. That's the problem. That's the disadvantage, I'll say. And you have to make sure that you are ready for the changes, because in all the releases you'll find some new features will be added. Okay. The other disadvantage, I would say, or you can say that problem with the network engineer with this SDN solution is this, that they have to learn the APIs, programming interfaces, right? API means that they have to go and learn the different type of programming, like they have to go and learn the Python or maybe Ansible, etc. Why? I'll explain this in next slide. Let me. So when we are talking about SDN, software defined network, software means what? Programming, right? Some packages, some microservices. Anyways, it's a program. Now, when we are talking about this program, that means that you have different type of programming languages, maybe Python, maybe Ansible. These two are very much suited for networking devices. Ansible. Now, if I go one step back, I told you earlier, maybe I haven't told you this thing, but initially how we are managing the devices via CLI, right? Oops, via CLI, command line interface, correct? We are doing this from so many years, CLI. Then CLI is slow. It's very difficult to configure thousands of devices with CLI, because you have to log into all the devices one by one, etc. So it has its own complexity, but CLI is good for troubleshooting. Whenever you are doing troubleshooting, mostly you are doing via the CLI. You should know the backend. You should know the CLI as well. As a network engineer, you should know the CLI as well. But what was the next step for business? GUI, graphical user interface. Why engineers they are using the GUI? Because GUI, you can see everything, right? You have one dashboard, you can see that where to reboot the router, where to reload. Uh, it will tell you everything. For example, the vManage console. I haven't logged into that vManage console, but if you go there, you can see the configuration template, tools, licenses, other options are there in the GUI. Otherwise, you have to learn thousands of CLI commands to reach there. So GUI is obviously solution that can provide you visibility. And if you do not have all the knowledge related to CLI, then you can manage your network via the GUI. But still GUI also having issue. The graphical interface is also having issue. It's slow, sometimes it's slow, sometimes suppose if you have to deploy 5,000 routers or maybe 10,000 devices in a single shot. With the GUI also, you have to go and check mark all the 10,000, 15,000 devices, and then you have to push the policy. Then next is API. And we are living in the API world at the moment. So CLI, command line interface, GUI is graphical interface, and then we have the application programming interface, API. Now, if you integrate these APIs are nothing but the instructions. All the devices, all the management plane devices, they can send the instruction with some sort of API. I will explain this later on in this course. So you can send the instruction with the API. You want to reboot the router, you want to do the OSPF configuration, you want to check the certificate, you want to configure the interfaces. Each and everything that you can do via the CLI, you can do via the GUI, you can do via the APIs as well. Now, good thing about APIs is that they can go and integrate with any programming language. There are a good amount of programming language. APIs can get integrated with that. Now, if you have a little bit of knowledge of Python and Ansible, suppose if you want to shut one particular interface for 1,000 devices, you can shut You can create some sort of for loop. You can give I equal to 1 to 10,000. You can give that API instruction inside that code, and it will do for it, right? So API knowledge is very much desirable. Companies, if you go for interview, they will ask you, do you know automation? But automation, that means they're asking you, do you know API? This is one aspect related to network engineer. I'm going to tell you the business importance of API as well. So if business, they are running their devices via CLI, they need more manpower, they need skilled employees in certain area, because that is skilled employee. Suppose if you have Cisco and Juniper router, Cisco and Juniper, for example, and maybe I'll take one more Dell. So I have three different vendors which are router, Cisco, Juniper, Dell. So I need three different engineers to manage Cisco, Juniper, Dell, because CLI, n number of commands. Whoever knows Cisco will not know Juniper, Dell, etc. Now coming to GUI, there may be chance someone knows GUI. He can go and log into Cisco GUI. He can do the operation. He can log into Juniper GUI. He can do the operation. Dell GUI, he can do the operation, right? Because in GUI, he can see, he will learn that GUI easily. It will take less time for business, that, that the engineer, they can go and learn the GUI for Cisco, Juniper, Dell. They can manage that, right? But still time is constrained here. Still it is time consuming. Still it will take time to learn the GUI for the Cisco, Juniper, and Dell. Now coming to the API, and you will get surprised. API for Cisco, Juniper, Dell routers are almost same, maybe 95% same. Actually, it's 100% same. APIs are same. So whatever configuration that we are doing for Cisco switches, same program, same configuration can go to Juniper. Same program, same configuration can go to Dell. So that means that here you can see the efficiency is 100%. Here it is something like 60% or maybe 50 to 60%. Here it is 10 to 20%. You can see the saving for money. If someone knows API and the programming, he can save a lot of money for business. And not only the program that you are saving money, time, etc., but it is 100% accurate as well. Now, if it is wrong, it will be 100% wrong as well. That's the con for that. But pros is that once your program is accurate, once it is running, once your automation is running, it will give you all the time 100% result. Okay, so I'm telling you both the option, like the networking perspective of all the CLI, GUI, and API, and the business perspective of this CLI, GUI, and the API. Why company will pay you more? Because one engineer, if you know API, and if you know API, aka automation, that means he can manage the entire infrastructure. Either it's a LAN or a SWAN, or it's data center. Okay, and that's one reason that Cisco has introduced their DevOps certification. So you can see that CCNA DevNet course is there. Feel free to go and enroll in Udemy. I have my course there. It's just the marketing. So CCNA DevNet course is there. If you go and see what is there in this course, that whatever product that Cisco has, like data center solution, ACI, UCS, UCSM, Intersight, etc. Your WAN solution, in WAN, what are the things you have? The vManage, and maybe Epic is there, but it's no one is using that. Mostly vManage, routers, switches, iOS XE devices, iOS XR devices, everything. Now they have the programming interface, and there are different type of programming programming connections or connectors there. And in LAN, you have DNA, and you know that you have 3850 switches, then 9K catalyst switches are there. They have the programming interfaces, right? So that means that once you know the API, you can go and you can manage the LAN devices. That means the 3K and 9K switches. You can go and manage the WAN devices, mostly ISR and ASR devices. And here, common platform is iOS XE. You'll find that in Cisco Catalyst switches, you have iOS XE. In WAN devices also, you have operating system as a iOS XE. Even in the WLCs also, I think 9K series WLC, wireless LAN controllers, there also you'll find iOS XE. Okay. Now data center image is different. There they are running the NX OS or NX OS in ACI mode. But there also you can go and do the programming. You can use Python and Ansible everywhere. Mostly you will see that in data center people are using Ansible as a playbook. Okay, so remember one very important thing, CLI, how you're managing your infrastructure. You are using CLI, you are using GUI, you are using API. I'm going to ask you this question. Anyone is using API to manage or do anything in the infrastructure? Yep, still there. The thing with the online classes. When you go in sleep mode.
Yeah.
All right, so question number 2 we have, anyone using API to manage the infrastructure? If answer is no, there's no problem. If you're planning to learn automation, that easy path I will tell you. You go and enroll my CCNA course, CCNA DevNet. Actually, this is CCNA level, but you will find this is little bit difficult. If you don't have programming background, then it will be difficult for you. So if you don't have programming background, first go and learn Python. There are so many good courses in Udemy, like Zero to Hero, or maybe you can check David Bombal. That's the guy. David Bombal. If you don't want to learn too much Python, you can check his course, David Bombal, and then networking programming, something like that. I think in YouTube also you'll find his videos. They are good. I learn a lot from his videos. Otherwise, the other path is that go and learn Python. There are course Zero to Hero or maybe 100 hours of Python. There are so many good courses there. In those
Where?
courses, in Udemy, if you go to Udemy, you'll find these courses are there related to Python. And you can go and learn that. Once you understand Python, you can come back to CCNA DevNet. Then you will understand it. But not only you have to learn Python, then you have to learn Ansible as well. So you have to learn two different programming language, Python and Ansible, and then you can mostly use the APIs. So once you, I'll give you the path. Let me clean here and I'll give you the path. If you want to follow it, you can follow it parallelly, because anyways our class is going to be 2 months or maybe more than 2 months. So parallelly, if you want, you can learn. I'll give you the path that you learn Python anyhow. Okay. Then you can go and check CCNA DevNet. Only one course you'll find, CCNA DevNet, only I have uploaded there. Once you learn this, then you have option. You want to learn the programming for SD-WAN, you want to learn the programming for DNA. I have complete course there in Udemy, SD-WAN programming. And I have one complete course in Udemy related to DNA programming. I have used so many APIs. All this programming, what I have used, APIs. With API, how you can integrate API with Python and you can do certain tasks. DNA programming I'm using a lot in my organization. Even if I have to do any configuration to any router, I'm using the APIs. I'm not using GUI. I'm not using CLI to do any type of configuration to any device. I'm 100% I'm using APIs. Okay. Any question?
One thing, you're saying that you're not using CLI or GUI, right? But
Yep.
even you are using API, you need to use some interface, right?
API is programming interface. Yes.
So with that interface is CLI or GUI you're doing?
That is good question. I'll answer it.
Okay.
See, when you are configuring the device, so how CLI is working? You are opening some sort of port port 22 means you are doing SSH or telnet. You're logging into the box, right? And then you are doing the configuration. When you are using API, basically they are using HTTPS method port 443 to log into device, and there are certain different protocol like netconf or restconf, etc. And then you are configuring the device. So you can see the technical difference here. And GUI is nothing but the backend for the CLI. GUI is maybe you have some sort of Java client or something where your GUI application is running. Behind the scene, they are doing SSH to the devices and then they are doing the configuration. But API is altogether different story. Their logging to the devices is different because this is application layer, right? And this is somewhere maybe network layer where you are doing the SSH, right? So you can see that the method itself is different. These things I have explained there in that course, in the CCNA development course.
Okay.
All right, great. Okay, so the class that we are doing at the moment, it's something like this, that after 1 hour session, we are going to take a break. So let me go and pause the recording. We're going to club it. So you have two tasks. You have to log into the lab and you have to watch one video in YouTube. I'll share the link. What is there in this video? Recently, I have uploaded one video, knowledge life cycle and the market expectation. Let me see that. What is the length of this video? The video is a small video. I'll not play here. I'm just checking the length. The video. Come on, these ads will come. 1 second. Let this ad will complete and I'll copy the link. Come on. Skip. 32 minutes. Okay, so you please watch this video. This is 32-minute video, but it's quite interesting. In this video, Alex, I have explained one thing that CCNA to CCI journey, that's the same that we have with David. Initially he was like this. Jitender, you can see your CCNA
Nice.
Yes, sir.
while doing your CCI. So you are planning to do your CCI, right? So you will become like this. Okay. So T-shape. This is also one very important thing I have discussed here. T-shape knowledge. And even in interviews also they're asking about this T-shape. That means in one area you are very good, but you know other areas as well. Like for example, you're very good in security, you're expert in security, but you know routing switching, you know data center, you know wireless. So other areas you know, and one session you are very, very good, like you're expert. That's the T-shaped knowledge that nowadays company they're expecting from the engineers. Then there is one chart. This is nice, you know. You just watch this video, you'll find even this video will answer lot many questions to you that you may thinking that why this is this, why this is this. See, if we are expecting good type of job, then we should know all those things. We should have good knowledge. And now, do we have the knowledge that is demanding, or do we have the knowledge that is matching the business requirement? That's the key. What business is thinking, we should think and learn like that. So here you can see that 22 and next, how things are changing. Uh, Again, this is for the network architects or advanced level engineers. So troubleshooting, network configuration, security management, analytics. In the bottom, you can see network programming. So 2020 and next, this is the expectation that you should know the troubleshooting, configuration, security management, analytics, configuration, architect design, continuous operation, hardware deployment, etc. You may doing all these things, right? You may doing this thing. This is the expectation. And then how things are moving to network programming management. This management solution is also very, very important because the management, they want to see everything. They want one dashboard where they can see everything, like the life cycle, like the, you know, the vulnerability, the compliance, everything. So digital innovation, cloud provisioning. See, this cloud is coming everywhere. So you watch this video, and according to that you upgrade your knowledge. Yeah. All right, so this is the task you have, that you have to watch this video. That's the task number 2. It's just 30-minute video, so you can watch it easily. Let me put here in the chat window. Please copy the link, and then the task number 2 is 1 is the lab. Okay, and for that I need to pause the recording for a while. Okay, you can go to the Chrome. You can go to the, you can see POC tool is there. Let's go there. I'll give you the credential and the password. This is the username. It's logged in. It's going in. Okay. This is one of the POC tool that Cisco is providing for customer. So customer can play around with the use cases. In this lab, you can see that we have DC, we have site 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. We're going to learn more and more about this in upcoming session. So don't worry. Now, if you're logging this particular lab for first time, you can see on top you have something called deploy button. Just click there, and then all the devices will come with the initial configuration. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. Once it is fully operational, then you have to perform a certain task. So your task is this, that once you log into this particular lab, simply go and open vManage and check inside vManage what are the options you have. That's it. That's the task. Okay. So 2 things you have to do. First, task 1 is that you have to log into this lab, open vManage. That's it. Inside vManage, check what are the options you have. What are the inside menu, what are the things you have. Task number 2, small video, 32-minute video there in YouTube. You go and watch that video. Okay. So open new tab and you can see that we manage. Username and password for we manage is admin for this particular lab. So once this will get fully deployed, then you can see that we are able to log into vManage. I'll log in there. Let's give him some time and I'll come back here. So these tasks you have to do. Before moving further, if you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, Ratnesh, I have one question here.
Mhm.
Suppose initially, means someone is saying that how you can deploy the SD-WAN solution. So this is the process here, means you are showing the some POC
No,
and
no, no, no. We'll come to that. Don't worry.
okay, so this is look like it's a virtual lab, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
We'll come to that, how to deploy the controllers, how to deploy the edge devices, etc., etc. Why
Okay,
I'm sharing this lab is just you, suppose if you're new, and if I start with, deployment of vManage and vSmart, blah, blah, all those things, it will be little bit difficult for you. But if you know the GUI and, little bit about the dashboard and all, so, you will not feel that this is difficult and you can learn. Just for learning process, I am doing this approach.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, got it, got it.
Okay. So don't worry. I'm going to cover everything. Even the slide itself, you'll find that it will start with phases. First, I will go and give all these overviews, and then we have all these steps how to bring up the control and data plane, and then I will show you in the lab as well. These are the steps. There are complete different set of slides I have just for deployment. So you will get all those things. Don't worry. Again, I told you that I'm going slow
Uh,
because we should learn things slowly. Yeah,
all the course details can you please share? Course
yeah,
content.
I already shared that via email, but I haven't shared with Viswajit, I
I
think.
think I didn't get.
Yeah,
Who
I
is?
also don't have the email.
Okay, no problem. Everyone is there in WhatsApp group, right?
Yes, yes.
You please ping your email address. I will share the invite as well. So you can save this invite automatically. You'll get the pop-up. Okay. And I'll share you the course detail and everything. Like I have shown you earlier. Let me go back here. And if you go and check the syllabus, this is, apart from that, we have complete lab guide as well that I'm going to follow. That will be your task number 3 that you have to do. You have to just check the lab guide. You don't have to do anything. Please ping this inside the WhatsApp. Your, we have WhatsApp group. Your email address, please ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay, okay,
So
fine.
after the class, I will consolidate all these notes that we have discussed today, and I'll email. I'll create one email group. I'll add all the mails there, and I'll send. Okay. So task number 1, task number 2, and task number 3, you have to check the lab guide. We are going to perform so many different activities that is there in the lab guide. Let me show you the lab guide. So this is the lab guide we have. You can see it's 700-page lab guide where all the steps are mentioned. How you can go and configure vManage, is how you can go and create the device template, the policies, VPN policy, everything is there. Don't worry. This is the lab. This is not theory. Theory I will cover, and then I will show you these things in the lab. So how we have deployed our lab, I have shown you the steps. Log in there, click the deploy. And then this is the topology. There are other topology as well. Don't worry, I'll cover slowly all those things. Your task is to just have a look on this lab guide. Okay, look the video, log into the lab, check the lab guide. That's the 3 tasks you have.
This is your lab guide you prepared, huh?
I'm not doing that much hard work.
From where you will get this lab guide?
This is Cisco lab guide.
Okay, but from where we can get this?
Okay, that I can tell you because recording is going on. So some questions I
Okay,
can't
okay,
answer,
okay, fine.
but anyways, I'm sharing with you. Okay, great. So where we are from your side, you have to log in and you have to check. Please connect with any connect and log in. That's your task. Now you have to do. Still it is not deployed, seems. Still it is going in progress. You can log in. Please log into the lab setup. Jitender,
Yes, sir.
try login. I'm using user 1, so you can use user 2 and then 3 and 4.
Sure.
So once you deploy it, you can see that your vManage dashboard will slowly open, and username password, default username password is admin. You can do admin, log into the vManage, and your task is to open the menu here, expand it. You can go and click here, and first time when you log in, it will be a little bit slow, but lab is good actually. It's fast once everything is loaded. So you can see the dashboard, you have main dashboard, VPN security, then you can see the monitor. Just expand all these tabs, whatever you have, maintenance, administration, be analytic, everything you can expand. You can go and from your side try to check. If you're new to this particular dashboard, just be familiar with this particular dashboard. Anyways, I'm going to cover everything. Whatever places you can go and it will show you some hand icon. Just go and click. That means that is the clickable thing. You can go and click. Maybe you'll not understand the OMP, BFT control, data, etc., etc. I'll cover each and everything in upcoming session. Let me know if you are able to log in to this particular lab. Sam, you're able to log in?
Not yet.
Okay, Sanjay.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. Once you are log in, then we are very good for today's session. Let's stop. In that case, we have happy ending.
Yes, my any connect is connected, sir, and it's going to process its 6-7%.
Okay, means it is upgrading. Okay, it will take 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, no problem.
I'm using the user 2, sir.
Okay, user 2. Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm using 3. Let's see if it is connecting or not.
Yeah, it will connect. We can
Okay,
use
okay.
up to 8 users.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's showing downloading any Connect Secure Mobile Mobility client.
Yeah.
Okay.
Software is getting updated. Yeah.
Okay.